This is the Morning Sports Desk for Tuesday, September 12th. Corey, we have some high school volleyball on the air tonight, a little bit of a Highway 71 rivalry.
In fact, it is non-conference volleyball. Sebeka Trojans travel to the Park Rapids area Panthers. The Panthers come into tonight's contest still searching for their first victory of the season. They're 0-4, having dropped their first 4 matches of the season to Nevis, Roseau, Frazee, and Bemidji. Looking ahead, they do play in a big tournament this weekend in Walker. Looks to be close to a dozen teams involved with that. The Sebeka Trojans come into tonight's contest at 4-5 overall. They won their first 2 matches of the season over Norman County East Hewlin Hitterdal and Walker Hackensack Akeley before losing to Browerville Eagle Valley and Wadena Deer Creek. And then over the weekend, they played in the Ada Borup tournament where they went 2-3. Losing to Kitson County Central and Foston, beating Climax Fisher and Red Lake Falls, and then losing to Underwood. So that'll be tonight on the Superstation K106. It's scheduled for about a 7:15 pregame, but as is usually the case with high school volleyball, it will likely go a little early. So the Trojans and Panthers, 105.9 FM, the Superstation K106, online, WadenaRadio.com, and worldwide via your Superstation K106 app.
All right, there we go. High school volleyball tonight on the Superstation. And, Corey, if you want a little more insight, if you want a little more pretext to this matchup, you could do. You could go to WadenaRadio.com, or you could go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts, and you can check out the Morning Sports Desk, where we talked with Sebeka Activities Director John Loquist. We talked to him last Friday, and he talked a little bit about the volleyball team and the football team and the cross-country team and more. But you can hear him talk specifically about volleyball and some of the things that they have going for them and kind of what their plans are for the season. So if you want more coverage, you can go back and listen to Friday's show.
Excellent.
So switching gears to Major League Baseball, Corey, the Minnesota Twins, they got stung by the Rays 7-4 last night. Sonny Gray he didn't pitch very long. I think he got maybe through 4 innings, was a little shaky. Dylan Floro comes in a 4-1 ball game and decides to give up a 3-run home run on an 0-2 pitch or something along. It was a 2-1 game. Then Dylan Floro comes in, gives up a home run. The very next inning, Brent Hedrick gives up a few runs. The Twins are down 7-1. Royce Lewis tries to make it a game by hitting a 3-run bomb. It was 7-4, but that's what the Twins end up losing by. The Twins pitched a lot of their long relief guys in this game. So you saw Dylan Floro, you saw Brent Hedrick, you saw Josh Winder, guys like that pitching, because the Twins still don't have an off day until next Thursday. So they're trying to make sure they don't exhaust some of those bullpen guys. You're down 7-1. Good time to burn up some of those guys. But the real moral of the story is, Corey, the Twins may have lost, but Cleveland got walked off by the San Francisco Giants last night, meaning the Twins' magic number is now down to 11 games. The magic number is 11.
And there's 18 games left in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 18 sounds right. 18 games to go. The Twins' magic number is 11. Remember, that is a combination of either Twins wins or Cleveland losses. So I always like to find random pictures of people who wore the number. Like 11, somebody might find a picture of Jorge Polanco and be like, oh, Twins' magic number is 11. No. I found Jason Bartlett 2014 when he wore number 11. That's my number.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he wore number 11. And
because I think Jamie Carroll had 8 at the time.
The obvious answer would be, for people my age, would be Chuck Knobloch.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to find those really obscure, oh my gosh, that guy wore. So if you wanted to find Sal Butera or something like that, he wore number 11 when he was with the Twins.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's according to Baseball Almanac. Yes.
He didn't wear number 41? Oh, let's do
that. That was Drew Butera, his son.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, wait, I have a question. You said Bartlett? Didn't Bartlett wear 18?
he did the first time around. But remember when like he signed a minor league deal? Remember like when Terry Ryan decided to get the band back together and he signed like Jason Bartlett. He wanted to sign Johan Santana to like a minor league contract. He wanted to sign Kyle Loesch. You know, like he wanted to bring back all those early 2000s Twins. I think he brought back he brought back Jason Kubel. And Jason Kubel wore 13 because Josh Willingham was 16.
That I do remember. I remember Kubel looking very strange.
Yeah.
In a different number.
Yeah, Bartlett, I don't think he even cracked the big league team. I think they cut him like halfway through the year. Yeah, it turns out, look, for all of the flack that Falvey gets running the Twins, and a lot of it deserved, those last few Terry Ryan years were pretty brutal in terms of roster construction.
There's always a reason why the last years are typically somebody's last years.
And bringing in guys like that does not help the situation. I'm like, oh, they just signed Johan Santana and Jason Bartlett and Jason Kubel. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. What was the year? 2006? No, 2014.
Yeah, that was a good sign that they were going to be doomed no matter what. So let's just try to get some fan favorites back in here and hope nobody notices.
Can we get some butts and seats? The Target Field is new effect is wearing on.
Yes, the long-known historical Twins draw, Jason Bartlett.
Hey, the Piranhas were back. Him and Jamie Carroll, those Gardy loved penciling those guys in the lineup.
Well, he didn't have a choice. Those were the only guys there.
All right. So that's pretty much your Twins update. The magic number is at 11. They play 2 more games with the Rays. Basically, the goal is just win one of those 2. Tampa's a good team. The most frustrating part about Tampa Bay, Corey, is that they'll have every single bullpen guy is named Kevin Johnson, and he looks like he's an accountant, but yet he throws 97 miles an hour with nasty junk. And that's the strength of the Tampa Bay Rays, is that they remember Zach Littell, Twins pitcher Zach Littell? He was like a random Twin. He wasn't very good, up and down. He went to the bullpen. He tried to start. He's now a bona fide starter for the Tampa Bay Rays. Mm-hmm. That's not even a knock on the Twins. That's just how the Tampa Bay Rays work their Devil Ray magic on everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty much, there's nothing else to, whatever it is, there's just some voodoo that happens. I don't know, it's awesome because they're always relevant. Always relevant. It's weird.
They're what Oakland wants to be. Like, Oakland always gets the darling Moneyball theory. Like, they get the Moneyball treatment of like, oh, they scrounge and they pinch pennies, but they still win. Tampa Bay does that better than Oakland does.
They're what everyone wants to be outside of like the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Yankees.
Yeah, pretty much. So like this, it's really interesting when you watch how the Rays operate and when you watch how the Rays manage games and do everything. That's kind of what the Twins always try and be. I always say Falvey kind of wants to make the Twins Tampa Bay light. And you can see that because when Falvey first came to the Twins, he hired a bunch of people from, like, first of all, they tripled the size of their scouting and development department and like the research and everything to try and modernize the Twins.
Which was overdue.
Yeah, it was like the Twins finally were like they increased their research staff, their analytics staff, whatever, and they hired a lot of guys from Tampa Bay. Rocco Baldelli was the Tampa Bay Rays bench coach. Like, I mean, they just hire a lot of guys who came from that philosophy and that school of thinking. Now they do things a little bit differently. It's not like a pure carbon copy. But like if you want like the blueprint and the model for what the Twins try and do, if you like scratch your head, just like think of like, would Tampa Bay do that? And that's kind of, and if the answer is yes, then like, oh, I get it. And if the answer is no, then I got nothing for you on that one.
True.
So last thing to talk about with the sports desk today, Corey, is I don't know if you watched last night's Monday Night Football game.
A little, yeah.
I was in and out. I didn't watch the beginning, and all of a sudden I got a thing on my phone that said Rodgers comes off the field. I'm like, that's not good. But like, he's Rodgers. He usually kind of comes out and pops back in and whatever. And like, no, he's carted off. Like, a bunch of doctors on Twitter, which I don't really like. They always go on and they speculate what an injury diagnosis is, despite not being there to actually see it in person. I was like, no, I think he tore his Achilles. I'm like, I'm not believing that. And then as the night goes on, it's like, oh no, he may have actually tore his Achilles. You can see it like a guitar strum, like pop. Like, remember Muhammad Ibrahim with the Gophers? We could see it like pop in real time. And I think we saw that last night with Rodgers. I think he's 4 snaps into his Jets career, and he's done for the year. He's going to be done.
Yeah, I've seen the one particular video you're referencing, and I can't quite, if it is an Achilles injury, and that's what it looks like. It's gross looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, that's, you can see like the ripple of his calf, and you can see. Here's the other thing I would say about an Achilles injury is when you get a complete tear, it hurts, but it's not like a high ankle sprain, like the other injury they think it is. A high ankle sprain will writhe you in pain. You'll just be on the floor, rolling around. It's going to really, really suck. And an Achilles, if it's a clean break, it just kind of like, you don't have any tension there at all. So if there's no tension, there can't be any pain. And he was pretty calm about the entire situation.
He just kind of sat down.
I've seen one Achilles injury in person before, and when it happened, she fell down like immediately because there's nothing there to hold you up. But she goes, "What hit me?" And nothing hit her. What happened was her Achilles snapped. You know what I mean?
Gross.
Yeah, super gross.
Yeah.
But there was no like. It hurt. It started to hurt as it went on, but like there was no immediate hit me in the leg. Not my. The last time. Off season and all those that really, I don't know, man, that stinks a lot.
It does for that entire Jets fan base and all.
Yeah,
also the Packer Jets. It's early enough in the season. Look out as a sports fan of just like, I was so excited about this year, and this one guy got hurt, and like it was
the most obvious answer is probably the Teddy Bridgewater injury. That was super demoralizing. The other one was, I remember Vikings fans in general and the Vikings in general were very complimentary of Chad Greenway out of college. And then he hurt himself in the opening kickoff of the season and was done for the year. But the Bridgewater one is the one that comes to mind as the most like, oh my God, it's over. This is over. It just really stunk. Right. That Teddy Bridgewater injury changed like the course of the NFL. Because it was like if without it, Sam Bradford doesn't come here, Carson Wentz doesn't get drafted, he doesn't get hurt, Nick Foles doesn't get his out. It's just a really that was a weird injury in the course of NFL history too. There are other Wolves injuries, Sam Cassell and Troy Hudson, and what was it, 03, 04, something like that, where KG had to play point against the Lakers. That was pretty devastating. And then every Byron Buxton injury. Yeah. All right, I got to go.